Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building something a little bit different, and this is actually some beach houses. It's a row of beach houses that are solid color. I thought this would be so much fun to do. I saw this picture recently on Pinterest of these really adorable beach houses that were solid color, so I kind of wanted to create them in The Sims. They're not identical to what I saw in the picture, but I will link it in the description so you guys can check it out if you're interested. And the whole solid color thing, I wasn't necessarily going for the solid color build challenge, but I tried to heavily keep the colors very similar to the exterior color that I was going for. So the first one that you will see is going to be pink, and then a yellow one, a blue one, and an orange one, because I really wanted to use the bright colors that we got with the update around the time Strangerville was released. So I definitely wanted to use the bright yellow and orange, and I love those ones so much. They're probably my favorite of these two houses. I wish the pink and blue were a little bit more exaggerated, or if we had like a really bright turquoise blue, I think that would have been perfect. We do have those sidings that came with Spa Day, I'm pretty sure, but I decided not to use those, but I'm pretty sure there's a turquoise one in that. But either way, I decided to use the base game sidings and then kind of match the interior colors to match the exteriors. And I just love the way they turned out. I think this build is so fun. And this one, of course, is not for my save file. My last build was not for my save file too. So we will get back into those builds very soon because I have a couple to share with you guys. I am finishing up a Victorian home in Strangerville, and then I have my last build in Brindleton Bay to share with you guys. And I cannot wait to share that build with you guys because this is one that I've been working on for I think 2 months. I've been working on that build for so long, and I got really stuck when it came to doing the interior. So I think you guys might have heard me mention it, I think in a couple videos, because it is my last build at Brindleton Bay. So I've been very excited about it, but I got so stuck when it came to doing the interior, but finally I finished it and I love that build. So that will be coming out very soon. And yeah, so for now we're just doing a few fun builds that aren't related to the save file, and this is one of them, and I really do like it. I think it's so fun and different to anything that I build. And these houses are quite small, by the way, so they're just 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Each of them have a double bed, but they're pushed up against the wall because they're so narrow in here, so you can probably only fit 1 sim in each of them, but of course you could probably move things around if you would like to. Oh, and here you will see that I put them on a stilt foundation, and for whatever reason I could not get this to work at all. So you will see in the screenshots that they're on a regular foundation, and I have no idea why it wouldn't work, because when I've done this in the past, it's been, there's been no problems. So I don't know if something changed or if I did something wrong with the staircases, but I couldn't even get the sim up on the porch area. So I don't know exactly what was happening, because I've done stilt foundations several different times. I've done another beach house, and that was the first time that I did it, and that one I had a little bit of trouble with, but that was just something blocking the door, and then everything seemed to work fine. And then I did a raised foundation with no stilts in Strangerville, and that worked fine. And then I did a tree house that was kind of on a lower stilt foundation, and that one wouldn't work, but the sim was able to get on the porch, so all I had to do was raise the foundation and then they could get inside the door. So I don't know, hopefully if, they decide to do an update relating to this, hopefully we can make it work, because I really like it and I think it gives us a really nice variety to the foundations that we already have, especially when doing beach homes. Oh, speaking of that, I've heard a few sort of rumors about the next expansion pack being something like a tropical paradise. I really wish that's the next expansion pack. That is something I really want to come in The Sims. And of course I want university too, but I don't know, I'm not really hoping that it's going to be the expansion pack that'll be next. I think that one will come out in the fall, and I am almost certain we're getting an expansion pack this summer in June, because we're all invited to EA Play, so I feel like there's going to be a big announcement. At least that's what I'm hoping for, and I think a tropical sort of world, themed expansion pack would be so amazing, so I'm really hoping for that, but we will see what comes. But yeah, I think it makes more sense for university to come out in the fall, and I do imagine that we'd get another one in November, so that means 2 expansion packs again in 1 year, which would be really exciting too. So we will see what happens, but yeah, a tropical world is something I really want in the game, so hopefully that will come. We'll see what happens. But anyways, so I am working on the interior of the pink house right now, and I really like this one. It's very sweet. I was going for more of a soft pink color, so kind of like a baby pink color. There's a few other tones that are a little bit more hot pink or red, but I tried to keep it pretty much this very light pink color. I really like it. I think it is a really cute interior. I also really liked using this couch that came from Parenthood. I've used this couch a few different times, but not really in this color. Maybe I've used it once in this pink color, but I don't know. I don't feel like it fits in a lot of interiors, but for this one, of course it worked. But I really like the cushions on it, and the pillows I think are really nice too. So it would be so much more usable if the frame was like white or like a gray color or even like a light brown or something. I think that would make the couch a lot more usable, but either way, it worked nicely in this build. And then here I am trying to find different clutter items that are in this light pink color. So I found this pig statue, and then there's the Easter egg with the pink freezer bunnies on it, and then I put this skull statue next to the lamp that's in a pink color too. And yeah, I just found a bunch of really nice decorations that I use all of the time, but might not necessarily use them in the particular color swatches that I'm using them in here. So I really liked that. But yeah, anyways, so each of these little houses are in the exact same layout. So each of the furniture items are in the same places, but the decorations are all different except for a few of them. So the skull item that's next to the lamp on the side table, each one of these builds has one of those, and then that mirror that's to the left of the TV, each of these builds have one of those too, and then the tapestry next to the front door. I really liked those because I liked incorporating the kind of bohemian look to each of these builds, and that wasn't necessarily something I was planning on doing when I first started these, but I think after I placed the picnic tables and then those love seats on each of the porches, they both had these really kind of like funky patterns on them, so I decided that I wanted to incorporate a few things with different patterns. So a lot of the stuff that came with Movie Hangout, because they definitely have that really nice bohemian style with the different colors, and I really liked incorporating that stuff in these builds, so I thought that was a lot of fun. But here I'm just picking out a few decorations to put on the walls in the kitchen. There are a few other things that I added off camera because when I went to go take the screenshots, I felt like the walls were a little bit bare. So you'll notice here in this kitchen that there is that painting with the teacup with the heart coming out of it in the steam. I forget which pack that came with, maybe Cool Kitchen, but I put that on the wall in the kitchen in there, and then I think a clock because it just looked a little bit empty to me. So you'll notice a few differences in the screenshots, but nothing too drastic. But here I'm working on the bedroom area. So this is what I was talking about with the bed up against the wall, because there really wasn't a whole lot of space. You could probably pull it away from the wall a little bit and maybe your Sims could get through, but I decided just to have it against the wall would be okay for this build, and I just really liked the way it looked. I also really liked adding that decoration at the foot of the bed that came with Movie Hangout with the succulents and the like teacups and the stacks of books. It's such a really cute item. I love it so much, so I liked putting that there. And then here is the bathroom. Each of them have a stand-up shower and toilet and sink. Nothing too crazy, but of course I continued with the color scheme. And this shower that we have from Base Game, the tile actually has all of the colors that I needed except for orange, so the orange one gets a white tile backsplash, but I thought that was pretty nice. And then here I am working on the interior of the yellow build, and I went with this couch that came with Jungle Adventure because the bright yellow backing was perfect, and then it had the white cushions and the gray, so it wasn't too overpowering. And then here in the kitchen I am using the counters that came with Jungle Adventure because they have these beautiful yellow tops on them. And looking back, I probably could have used the ones that came with Parenthood because they have this one swatch with the really pretty wood tone that is kind of a yellowy color, but I don't know. I used these ones in here, but the reason I was thinking about the Parenthood ones is because all of the other houses have Parenthood counters, so this is the only one that doesn't, and yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but something that I was kind of thinking about. But either way, I liked these counters in here because the yellow tops were so pretty. And then here I'm picking out some different clutter items and then paintings to put on the wall. So this painting with the yellow flowers was perfect for the interior of this build, and of course I have that yellow skull next to the lamp. And then here I'm picking out a table to put in the center of the kitchen. Each one of these kitchens has a table. Two of them have a longer table and then two of them have a shorter one, but each of them have like fruit and like a plant, and then some of them have the lemonade pitcher, but I think a couple of them have that on the counter, but each of them have those, and I really like that. This one I decided to use this lantern because it came in this really bright yellow color, and I thought that was so pretty, and I really like that table, by the way. Every time I use it, I think I probably mention how much I like that table, but it came with City Living, and I think the patterns on it are just so pretty, so I really enjoy using it. And I also really liked using that bright yellow wicker chair next to the archway. The yellow color was so perfect, and I just really liked using it. But here I am picking out a tapestry to put next to the front door, so I go with that same one that I used in the pink build, the one that came with Movie Hangout, and it just looks so pretty. This one has a little bit of a green color in it, but I thought it looked nice in here. And then up here is going to be the bedroom, of course, and I had a little bit of trouble finding a bed, but I found this one. I can't believe I didn't immediately think of it when I went to go do this bedroom. But of course, it's perfect because of the sunflowers and the bright yellow pillows. So it just looked so pretty in here. And then over here in this corner, I do a bookcase, and I ended up going with this one that came with the latest patch, but it wasn't quite yellow enough, so I decided to pair it with this side table, and it works kind of nice underneath of it. I've seen a few people do that. This color combination doesn't work perfectly because they do kind of still look like separate pieces, but oh well, I liked the way it looked, and I decided to put this decoration on the middle shelf just to bring in a little bit more yellow. And then over here, I'm just picking out some artwork. I feel like this was the hardest part of this entire build for each one of these houses, was finding artwork that really matched the style that I was going for, but then were the right colors and stuff. So I think there's a few other wall items that I end up including in this bedroom. When I went to go take the screenshots, I think I might have added a couple of things. So if anything looks different, that's because the walls looked a little bit bare when I went to go take the screenshots. But here I am decorating the bathroom, so of course it's the same layout as the other one. And then here I am working on the interior of the blue house, and this one was kind of a struggle for me because I kind of wanted to use a lot of stuff that came with cats and dogs, and I still do, but I was struggling making it look a little bit bohemian like the other houses, with still sticking to the kind of coastal feel that I wanted it to have. So it was a little bit tricky, but I think I pulled it off in the end. I don't know if this is my favorite house though. Definitely the orange and yellow one are my favorites out of all of these. And if you guys have a favorite, you guys should definitely let me know. But I think my most favorite is the orange one, which I wasn't expecting because orange isn't always my favorite color, but I really liked it in that build, so I can't wait for you guys to see it. But yeah, here I am just decorating the interior and trying to find things that I think work with the blue color, but trying to not go too coastal. And I felt like the color swatch that I was using with the couch just looked a little bit too traditional, and I ended up keeping the one that came with cats and dogs, but I use it in this swatch, and I don't think I've ever used it in this particular swatch, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it's really pretty. I actually really like the stripes, and the cushions are really nice. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to use that on interiors of other builds. And another thing that I don't think I've really used is that chair that I put next to the side table. I mean, I've used that chair a lot, but I don't think I've ever used it in that blue color. So I thought that was kind of fun. And later on, I do end up switching up these curtains to be the ones that came with Parenthood, because I felt like these ones just looked a little bit too traditional with the plaid and then the ruffles on the bottom. So I just felt like it clashed a little bit with the boho look that I was going for. So I think I switched those up once I start decorating the second floor. But here I am decorating the kitchen area, and I went with these items that came with Jungle Adventures, so the stove and the refrigerator, and I don't think I've ever used them in the navy swatch before, so I really liked doing that, and I thought it was kind of fun, and it added a little bit of a different blue color to this interior, so I thought that was really pretty. But I definitely want to use them again in the future, and I still have a few more builds to do in Selva Dorada for my save file, so maybe one of them I'll try to do a little bit more of a navy interior color scheme, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. But here I was picking out some decorations to put around the kitchen, so I put those postcards on the wall, which I thought were really pretty, and then next to the sink there's the coffee pot, and then that dish rack that's in a really nice blue color too. And then over here I do a couple of things, but I wanted to leave this countertop pretty empty, so I think I just put one thing and tried to put it as close to the stove as I possibly could. So hopefully that works. If not, you just have to delete that item and then that counter is free to be able to cook on. And then I put that tapestry next to the front door like all of my other builds. And then up here, of course, is the bedroom, and I used the bed that came with City Living because the cover on it has like these wavy marks on it, so it kind of reminded me of water, so I thought that was really pretty in here. And the dresser that I used, I wanted to use it in that darker color that you may have seen me have out for a second, but it looked a little bit too purpley. I don't know, maybe I could have got it to work, but it was a little bit past navy and I think a little bit more on the purple side. So I decided to switch it out for this one. It's a little bit more of a gray blue color. And then there I did switch up the curtains to be these ones that came with Parenthood like I was talking about. And I think they just look a little bit better and work for the style that I was going for. And then I just placed that rug on the ground that came with Laundry Day. It's a little bit more greeny turquoise, but I thought it looked really pretty in there. And then here I'm trying to find some artwork to put on the wall, and I did switch up the painting that was next to the bed in the pink house. I think the painting that I switched it to was that really soft pink one with all of the roses on it. I think that's what I switched it to, but yeah, we will see that in the screenshots. And then there I just hung the tapestry next to the bed, and I thought that light blue was so perfect. And then over here I have a dresser, and I'm just picking out a few different decorations to put on top of it, and I really like the way that turns out. And then other than that, I do put a mirror next to the dresser, and then in that nook there is a bookcase, because each one of these houses I am pretty sure I put a bookcase in those nooks, so I thought that was kind of nice. And then next to it, in between the door, I put this beaded curtain. I don't normally put this just on walls as decoration, so I thought that was kind of fun. Usually I put it over windows, so I really like the way that looks. And then over here is the bathroom, and this came together really quickly because of course it has the same layout as the other ones, but also we have a lot of blue decorations that work nicely in bathrooms, so I just had no problem finding blue colors for any of these items, so it came together really quickly. And then over here is the orange house, and like I said, this is probably my favorite out of all of them. I just think it is so pretty. It's really bright and colorful, and I feel like the orange just works really nicely for the bohemian look, especially being able to use this couch with all of the other colors and patterns. I just thought was really fun. But actually decorating in an orange color scheme was a little bit difficult because we don't really have a whole lot of things that are like a true orange color. We have a few things with like oranges on them, but I don't know, I tried my best to make it all work. So some of the things are a little bit more brown or red or even like a pink color, but I tried to pick items that still had like an orange undertone to them or a little bit more of an orangey hue, so it's not perfect. Like these curtains, for instance, they're not orange, they're more of like a peachy color, but I feel like they kind of work for an orange interior. We do have a few different curtains that are orange, but I felt like that would just be a little bit too crazy and overpowering because I still wanted these interiors to look kind of nice, so that's why I chose those. But here I am working on the kitchen area, and I really like the way this kitchen turned out. I think it is so cute, and these tiles that came with Parenthood are perfect. They're not completely orange, but I feel like the little bit of orange tile in them just kind of brings the whole orange color scheme together, so I really like the way that turned out. And of course I used the stove and refrigerator that came with Jungle Adventure, and they came in these really nice orange colors, so I think it ends up being a really nice kitchen. The living room though is probably my favorite part out of this entire little orange house. I think it's just so pretty. And then up here is the bedroom, and I decided to go with this bed that came with Seasons, and I think this is probably the best bed that we have in the entire game for doing an orange interior. And I've never used it in the swatch before, at least I don't think I have. I've used this bed so many different times. Maybe I've used it in the orange color once, but I can't exactly remember, but I was really happy to use it in here. And also the same thing with this rug. I've used this rug so many different times. It came with Strangerville, and I don't think I've used it in this orange swatch before yet, so I thought that was so pretty. And then over here is the bathroom. This bathroom isn't exactly the same as the other ones because I'm using a different toilet than I used in the other builds, but that one didn't come in an orange swatch. I probably could have used it in the white color, but oh well, I thought this one worked. And then like I said before, the shower didn't come in an orange color, so I used it in the white swatch. I was trying to use that one that came with Jungle Adventure, but I felt like the tile was a little bit too crazy and it kind of blocked the view into the bathroom, so I decided just to use the other one. But here I am back to the exterior, just adding some palm trees. I do some pathways leading up to each of these houses. They each have their own garbage can and mailbox, and we got these mailboxes that came with seasons, and it came in all of the right colors that I needed, so I thought those were perfect. And then other than that, for the landscaping, I just add some grass and some rocks and a few different greenery plants just to make it look a little bit natural and kind of beach-like. I also add some sand here in just a second, and I thought that was really pretty. And then also, like I mentioned, I do put all of these houses on regular foundations so your Sims can actually get inside of them, and then everything should work just as it should. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this build. I know it was a little bit different than something I would normally build, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed them, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the screenshot. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
If I could hear my father's voice, he would tell me to move on. He would say I'll be just fine. Yeah, he would tell me we have time, time to laugh and time to heal. Our favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until